So welcome to the projection, Professor GaolTerm. Prepare to get a little more retarded because we're going to be sitting through a bit of the project. I think we need to get a hashtag projection started. Hold these Muppets accountable. But don't worry, I'm going to be breaking it up with doses of sanity. So let's see what Professor GaolTerm has for us today.
Sovereign citizens, they look just like you and me, only they're exempt from the laws of the land, aren't required to pay taxes, and don't have to obey the will of courts, either law or food. At least that's what they believe.
I'm private,
Food courts. Do you get it? It's funny.
so I'm not under any public law.
National licence. You're just operating under your own.
Law of morality, LORE.
Sovereign citizen origin can be traced to an American group in the 1970s who promoted anti-government conspiracy theory.
Why do I feel like I've heard that before? 1970s America, anti-government conspiracy theories. Yawn.
But the movement has exploded recently in the wake of pandemic response measures.
Look, the tinfoil hat wearing brigade are alive and well out there in our community, and they're taking every opportunity to leverage the current situation to serve their own ridiculous.
Yes, listen to Cornelius. He knows what's going on.
Notions about so-called sovereign citizens.
The core of their belief is that anyone must first consent to laws in order to be governed by them, a sort of opt-in box for democratic rule. They often cite Magna Carta in their defence, not Jay-Z and Beyonce's little-known fourth child, but the child.
The Magna Carta. What an absurd thing. What an absurd historic notion. No, that's not an important document at all. Everything is, was, and always will be exactly how they tell us it is and will be.
Charter of Rights agreed to by King John in the 13th century. Former magistrate David Halpern has heard hundreds of arguments from people who believe they don't have to obey laws they don't like and says none of them hold water.
You don't need a driver license to travel with your automobile.
Yes, we do.
You need a driver license if you make money for what you're doing, if it's for commerce.
So is this movement just a handful of people with a misguided concept of freedom or something we should be concerned about?
And former magistrate David Halpern.
A misguided concept of freedom. And they show footage of the police beating people down. Yeah, sorry, I guess I have crazy notions of freedom.
Halpern joins us now. David, you've had hundreds of sovereign citizens before you in court. What do you think is at the heart of all this?
Look, I think the movement has grown considerably over the last couple of years, post-COVID, post the anti-vaccination movement. I think that gave it a boost.
Yes, you heard right. The anti-vaccination movement gave it a boost. So, yeah, pop quiz, is that an intentional pun? Or, yeah, I don't know.
And I think that people are looking to challenge the law, which is a healthy thing, but this is really the extreme end of it. And people seem to be after a quick fix.
This is the extreme end of challenging the law. Driving or not producing your license, challenging fines, questioning taxation. This is the extreme. I thought we had more greater challenges than that. I guess I'm mistaken.
To avoid penalties and fines and their own liability for things that would otherwise be crimes.
What I don't understand is, isn't the point of the sovereign citizen that their claims wouldn't hold up in court? So they're trying to claim separation from the legal system.
Now, full confession here, I don't watch the projection. I'm not sure, I haven't seen that girl before. Has everybody bailed on this show? Or are these new people, or they've been around for a while? Anyway, she doesn't seem convinced. Her question doesn't even make sense. Isn't the point of a sovereign citizen that their arguments wouldn't hold up in court? Why would that be the point? And still have not received an answer about what this sovereign citizen movement is. Never heard someone say that they're a sovereign citizen. Oh, it's too predictable.
There's two players at work here. There's the people who come to court and try and argue it, and then there's the people behind the movement who are selling kits online and selling the story online that you can beat your charges by claiming a pseudo-law argument that you're a sovereign citizen.
So if anybody knows where I can get me one of these kits, hit me up in the comments. I need some pseudo legal arguments.
Citizen, that you're a member of a corporate state, that if you change your name to a person, that magistrates have no power. And those people are the ones who are really promoting the argument and quoting all these cases that they say they've won. So that's right. The whole idea is the law doesn't apply.
Look at the bags under his eyes. Maybe he's not getting much sleep. It is a bit of a strange thing to do, Professor GaolTerm, to retire from being a magistrate, fall back on being a professor at law, and then to be doing spots on the project to talk about people that don't produce their driver's license or argue about a fine. What's the point of this story?
And then they come to court and argue that the law doesn't apply.
And around we go. You say nobody has successfully argued the sovereign citizen case. Have they just not found the right argument?
See, now that is a professional shill. Did you see how she believed what she was saying? Or she almost completely convinced herself. She was really playing the part there. The other girl earlier, she's clearly the apprentice. A lot of work to do. That's how you do it, folks.
No, I think, unique arguments are terrific. Mabo was an argument that overturned years of terra nullius. But this is so left field. I mean, this is people claiming that the criminal laws just don't apply to them because they decide that they are no longer part of the corporate entity known as Australia under the Magna Carta and all the other stuff that they go on with. So it really is so way out there that it doesn't have any possibility of ever being upheld by any court, and it never has.
Yes, no, it couldn't. Possibly. Could it, GaolTerm? Never be upheld by any court. So, get back in line, Ward.
Has been.
Well, you say that, David, until one of them's your client, right? I mean, you're a lawyer and you like playing with legal arguments. If one of them came to you and you were going to represent them?
Yes, do you see how they try and make him human? And there was some light-hearted joke. It's all so contrived, and I have the sense that even these guys know this one's bullshit. Even they're struggling to play their part. What's the point of this story?
Could you construct an argument? Could you think of anything you'd be able to say to the court?
Look, lawyers have a responsibility. Their first responsibility is to their clients, but also they have a responsibility to the court. And if
Yes, they have a responsibility to the court.
I was asked to put some of those pseudo-law arguments, I would say, no, I've got a responsibility to only put arguments that carry some legal weight. And if they're absolute gobbledygook and complete garbage and from fantasy land, then I wouldn't put them. I'd go and tell them to get another lawyer or represent themselves. And that is why, incidentally, they largely represent themselves, because they're not going to find a lawyer who will besmirch their own reputation and break their own professional rules by arguing something that they know is complete garbage.
David, it's always fascinating to speak to you. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
It's always fascinating to speak to you, David. When have you spoken to him before? Am I going out on a limb here? Or is this former magistrate turned law professor, is this the first time he's been on the projection? But anyway, always fascinating to speak to you, Professor GaolTerm. Get some good sleep, and yeah, maybe we'll find out what the point of this story was.